guys, welcome back to Philly Sports Network for something a little bit different on this Monday. We're going to be taking a look at some of the internet's best reactions to whatever roller coaster we witnessed the Eagles go through on Sunday. If you do enjoy this content, do let me know because I'll be sure to make more of them. It's definitely something a little bit fun on a sad Monday, a Monday where there's plenty of stress and anger around someone whose name rhymes with Spate Parry. We decided to ask you guys through Twitter and in our Eagles group chat what you thought of the game, and here are some of the best reactions and some from the wider Twitterverse as well. But before we get to that, if you're not already in our Eagles group chat, now's the time to join it. There is nothing worse than going into a group chat with loads of emotion about your favourite sports team and no one else in the group chat either understanding what you're on about or caring what you're on about because they're fans of other teams. So we've partnered with Flick Sports to make the ultimate Eagles group chat. We've got nearly 200 of you guys already. We'd love for you to be a part of it. We're giving away a Travis Fulgham jersey there later this week, so make sure you click that link below, download Flick Sports and join PSN Eagles Nation. And as a thank you for being a fan of Philly Sports Network, as we get towards the gifting season, guys, you may want to get yourself a brand new watch. LaTerrainWatches.com. You can get 10% off your order in the code PSN10 at checkout. Okay, so we started off by asking for the general mood after the game, and Wolfman Chris felt a certain way, and it turned out that mood was quite relevant for a lot of people. Sure, Jaws felt exactly the same, as did Tori_Philly4. She just felt like Carson Wentz was listening to Juice WRLD, and I think many of us did after that. Carson Wentz, to be fair, played a hell of a game. It has to be said. He took a really big step forward. Was he perfect? Absolutely not. Was there definite signs of improvement and a sense of trust in his receivers and confidence when slinging it to Travis Fulgham? Absolutely, and that's got to be a positive here. On a slightly miscellaneous note, though, I don't know if anyone else caught this in the broadcast, but I had to include it. I have no idea what the broadcasters were saying. At one point, Eagles legend Lance Johnson got carted off, and on another point, Carson Wentz went to throw a pass to Carson Wentz and pulled it back. I have no idea what the broadcasters were going on about. And I hate to be that guy, but someone brought this up in our group chat saying it's also fun to see Sidney Jones and Rasul have success elsewhere, finally freed from this system. It's like they've been unplugged from the Matrix. I mean, Sidney Jones last night had 4 passes defense, an interception for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know Rasul Douglas is one of the PFF darlings of this current season. I'm delighted for them. Like, you guys know, I've been big fans of both of those guys. I knew they could play. They just weren't in the right fit in Philadelphia, and that's a much bigger conversation that we've had before, and I'm sure we're bound to have again. But I'm happy to see them thriving. Were there anyone that said they weren't starters and were bums look a little bit silly? But we won't. It's a positive show, lads. It's a positive show. So let's get into the juicy stuff then. I think there was a lot of anger straight away about the overall sense of the game. Chris Jeffrey said Jim Schwartz has got to go. Run the ball when we're down with 2 minutes left. Fulgham is a 10-carat diamond in the Detroit coal mines. J-Jaw can block him, that's about it. Dallas sucks. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I mean, there's a lot to digest there, but I think he's hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of animosity towards Jim Schwartz today for several reasons. A lot of it, again, pertaining to someone's name who rhymes with the great Barry. But I don't really know if it's time to fire him or not. You can certainly make the case it's due to personnel, but then he's playing that whenever the Eagles offense does something great, the defense lets it down. Whenever the defense does something great, the offense lets it down. So there's never really a level playing field where this team just seems to click on all cylinders. But talking to that, Geordie Fighter 141 says offense really needs to learn when to run and when to pass, and the defense needs a lot of adjustments. I think with the run balance, I mean, Miles Sanders, outside of a 74-yard run, had 10 more attempts and got 6 yards. There was no leverage in the run game against the Steelers defense, which was expected. So I understand that this game, but certainly in the bigger picture, I absolutely agree. He said they couldn't find a way to shut down Claypool, someone I knew could have a big game. And to be fair to Geordie, he has been hammering the table for Chase Claypool since day one. He wanted the Eagles to draft him. Man responsible for those touchdowns was Nate Gary, and some of his reactions on Twitter weren't exactly brilliant. I mean, Wentilvania tweeted, Nate Gary has to be cut, Schwartz has to be held accountable. I agree with that. I don't see either of them happening, though. For some reason, Jim Shorts is besotted with Nate Gary and refuses to take him off the field. Like, again, he played every defensive snap on Sunday, which isn't good enough. Everyone else can see it's not good enough, but Jim Shorts. And that's definitely a conversation that needs to be had between the front office and the coaching staff. Caleb in our group chat said, I'd have a better chance on Claypool than Nate Gary. Do you know what? I probably agree. I think I might as well. Kieran James Welsh says the fact Howie Roseman has built this team with Duke Riley and Nate Gary as the starting linebackers should be a fireable offense in itself. Agreed. I think that's got to be noted that once again the team absolutely neglected the linebacker position, which is shambolic. It's happened year after year. The difference is there are normally free agent acquisitions to tide them over, and they didn't do that. They let Nigel Bradham walk, Camu Grugier-Hill went, now TJ Edwards is down, and it is literally down to guys like Duke Riley, like Alex Singleton, who were perennial special teams last year, to carry this team. And you can't expect them to break out the way Singleton did every single week, as great as that would be. It's a real shame that it's come to this, but yeah, something's got to change there. I do like what Nick Pajonas said that Chase Claypool is JT Realmuto and Nate Gary is Philadelphia. Yeah, I don't know what Nate Gary was doing on that play. I mean, there's a great breakdown by Emmanuel Iacho, former Philadelphia Eagle, current host on Speak For Yourself. I think he did an excellent job of understanding why Nate Gary absolutely blew that assignment despite Nickel Roby-Coleman trying to push him upfield. It was a terrible look, an absolutely terrible look, and that's the meme I came up with. So Costanza tweeted something I absolutely loved. I had to include this. A meme of SpongeBob, one eye on the page, 2020 is the worst year we've had in a while. I'm convinced we're living in a horror movie. The other eye on Travis Fulgham. This was one of the brighter points of the afternoon. Travis Fulgham broke out for one touchdown, 152 yards. He had the best performance of an Eagles receiver since Jeremy Maclin, the best two-game stretch since Terrell Owens was in Philadelphia. Like, even Colin Cowherd got on the hype saying, Carson Wentz and Travis Fulgham, you've been warned. I mean, to be fair, this is the same guy that had a go at Carson Wentz wearing a hat backwards 2 weeks ago. But I love Colin, and I'm glad he's on the hype train. Michael Kist, someone that I admire greatly, said in their first two starts, Randy Moss, 10 catches, 184 yards, 2 tutties. Travis Fulgham, 11 catches, 209 yards, 2 tutties. Makes you think. Is he the next coming of Randy Moss? I mean, Fritz, another friend of PSN, someone that's been on our podcast, said, not even upset watching Metcalf anymore. Travis Fulgham has arrived. And arrived he has. I mean, I'm absolutely excited to see what this future holds in store for Travis Fulgham. I think my main worry, though, is that when Alshon Jeffrey comes back, when Rager comes back, that he's suddenly going to get washed down in the depth chart. And I really don't want to see that happen. I'm living in a paranoid nightmare right now. Like, I cannot imagine anything worse than seeing Travis Fulgham buried when Deshaun Jackson comes back only to injure his ankle 2 weeks later, despite having 5 days a week worth of rest. I'm not getting into it. I'm not bitter. We'll move on. Zach Tyler says lots of improvement could be seen. Fulgham is a beast and needs to be fed the ball a lot more. Yeah, absolutely. I think he had a great game. The fact he led the Eagles in targets, it was just nice seeing Carson Wentz have trust in him more than anything. On that note, I had a slight breakdown during the game. I was on very little sleep and said that I heard that Travis Fulgham could cure coronavirus if they let him. I'd fallen in love with the Fulgmeister General. Okay, we needed a nickname for Travis Fulgham. The Fulgmeister General is what Liam came up with. I can't vouch for what Delirious Liam says during a game, okay? It happens. We have had Captain Cravon, and now we have the Fulgmeister General. I don't make the rules, we just live by them. And then I tweeted that the Fulgmeister General stopped on his route to catch that pass. A warrior, a leader, a general. That's the Fulgmeister General. And with that, it's set in stone. The Fulgmeister General. And if you want to win a Travis Fulgham jersey, make sure you're following us on Twitter, at Liam Jenkins PSN, at Philadelphia SN. There will be details coming up very, very soon of how you can win one. Ezek also said in our group chat, Travis Fulgham, more like Travis ball's gone down the field and into his hands for his first down. Am I right? Love that. I mean, but my favourite part of the entire Travis Fulgham saga, okay, is that he tweeted this morning. A video of Greg Ward's touchdown. Now, this is a guy, okay, that had 152 yards, led the team in receiving, a breakout sensation, the league's buzzing, he's PFF's like highest graded receiver, it's incredible to watch. And the first thing he does is go to Twitter and praise the route running of his teammate. Like, as if I couldn't stand any more wholeheartedly. I love that so much. One thing I don't love so much, though, is Jalen Mills getting in the face of every player possible after every play possible. He might have given up a 15-yard reception 2 plays ago, but now he's barking up at James Conner's face. In the face of Juju Smith-Schuster, his teammates are pulling him away. The guy's a liability. He was terrible at corner. He's barely average at safety. Now he's back at corner and he's struggling again. I just don't understand it, man. Like, get that guy off the field. He's doing my head in. It's cool you've dyed your hair green. Doesn't stop you being a dickhead, does it? So, you know. And finally, on a miscellaneous note, Johnny Karate from our group chat says, J. Jaw made a catch. Wow, anything can happen in 2020. What a crazy year. And not only did he make the catch, okay, 37-yard grab, he then gets up with 7 seconds left in the second quarter and starts celebrating and doing all this, despite the fact that the clock was still running. He arguably cost the Eagles a little bit there, and that was the most on-brand thing possible for JJ Arthega-Whiteside. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of our first episode of Internet Reacts. If you want to be on next episode, if you enjoy it, again, follow our Twitters. That's where we're going to ask you for your submissions. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Again, don't forget, guys, make sure you download the Flick Sports app. PSN Eagles Nation. Would love to see you in the group chat with the boys. From myself, Liam Jenkins, I'll see you soon.